While we all know that eating healthy is great for us, maintaining a clean diet can be a great challenge in today's world. With so many options to choose from, snacks readily available, and fast food on every corner, we need a great deal of discipline to stay healthy. Food represents much more to us than pure calories ingested for energy and sustenance. Food helps relieve stress and improve mood, thus bringing a lot of pleasure. So, what strategy can we use to eat healthier? Stick to the fundamentals. Have your healthy staple foods around. So, it's not about eating 100% clean and healthy, it's about taking a bit of compromise but trying to make your diet as healthy and sustainable and enjoyable as possible. So through a lot of reading and research, I noticed the patterns. It's always like eat more veggies and fruits for fiber, eat more meat or eggs for protein, increase your water intake. I think most of us know what's healthier and what's not, but it's just about how to incorporate that to fit into our lifestyles. So based on what I know and how my lifestyle currently is, I have adopted a certain eating pattern that could fit it in a sustainable and enjoyable way, and of course I've made some compromises here and there for the treats that I want. Here's a sneak peek of what I eat in a day, and I hope it can give you some inspiration. First thing I eat in the morning is nothing. It's the good old fasting. An experienced faster right here. I've been fasting since I was 16, and I can say I could probably never go to eating a big carby breakfast because it makes me just feel foggy, lethargic, slow, non-energetic, etc. So 16 hours of food is like a significant time frame where your body is out of any calories, so inflammation is reduced. It promotes sort of an internal detox, if you will, and it resets your insulin and energy levels. Aside from that, I really do it because it just makes me feel more mentally clear. When I have my hardest work from like 7 to 1, I can really focus sharp and work hard without being distracted or foggy. It just keeps me fresh, I feel it's great for vitality, and it increases my energy levels. So that's the first thing. Here is an example of eating 5 meals a day. Glucose spikes are frequent, glycemic variability is increased, so the insulin works hard to transport all the glucose. Here's a 3 meals a day example with a longer fasting break. Our body has time to reset energy levels and clear itself out. Instead of adopting a specific diet, I tend to focus my eating plan around the foods that I believe are healthy and are sort of my staples that make up the bulk of my diet. So these are foods that I believe will give me the necessary macronutrients and micronutrients to sustain good health, raise energy levels, and support my physiological functions. I tend to focus on obviously vegetables, green leafy ones for fiber like spinach, lettuce, arugula, then the starchy carbs like carrots and sweet potatoes for some additional carbs, rice, brown rice, quinoa as well. Then I do the healthy fats like avocados and nuts and eggs and all this sort of stuff, olive oil for example. Then I do the protein, so I eat a lot of chicken, some turkey, some grass-fed beef here and there. Then the last one is I tend to increase my intake of antioxidants, which are things like berries, cocoa, use different spices and herbs, I use cinnamon, etc. So this, by the way, makes shopping a breeze. It's very easy because there's no planning needed. You just have the staple foods you know you're always gonna need, and so you just go and it's a no-brainer what to pick in the store. Okay, so first meal after 16 hours of fasting at 12 o'clock is my 3 cubes of fatty dark chocolate with a cup of collagen-enriched coffee. And I don't know if you could call it a breakfast, I like to call it an indulgence because it really is sort of a break from the work that I've done. It's like after the first hard work session, there's a time to rest, reset, and catch up. See what's going on in the world, what happened with the markets, and it's just like that little dopamine boost. Because I don't know if you knew, but caffeine and cocoa are quite potent stimulants of dopamine, and I sort of ride that micro high for another at least an hour after I had it. I used to fast even longer when I had the black coffee, which had no calories, but we cannot count this as a fasting coffee considering it has honey and collagen peptides and chocolate, right? I add 1 teaspoon of coffee powder, a bit of hot water, some collagen peptides, and a pinch of honey. I mix that until it's smooth and creamy. Then pour some milk to add some thickness. 3 cubes of dark chocolate, and we're ready to rock. First large meal of the day is at around 1 o'clock. I go at a local faculty which has this almost homemade-like meals. Has a lot of veggies, carbs, and meat, which covers most of my nutritional needs. They have 5 menus that I pick from. So usually it's like a little vegetable soup with a side of green leafy vegetables with some olive oil and feta cheese, or sometimes beetroot for me, favorite salad ever. And so I'll just show you a few examples of what I eat there. Spinach sauce with mashed potatoes and a chicken breast, quinoa, rice, peas, chicken, and tzatziki, broccoli, rice, beef, and eggs. You get the idea. Pretty much covers the basics. I have my meat, my veggies, my carbs, and it's delicious. Let's go on to meal number 2, or should I say snack number 1. So not a big snack guy, but since I noticed I ate my first meal at 1, last meal at 8, there's like a big 8-hour gap in between, and it leaves me dry because I tend to work till late at night, till somewhere around 7, 8, or have my workouts at that time. So I can't experience an energy crash unless I have something to fill me up. So usually I started experimenting with this vegan shake. It's sort of like a meal replacement thing I have with milk and oats, and also a side of my homemade chocolate protein bars. It's made a huge difference, as now at around 7 o'clock I have a lot more energy and I'm ready to work out. But another thing I reintroduced is a very delicious tasting kind of shake with berries and yogurt, which I'll show you in a minute. By the way, my girlfriend, who absolutely hates bananas, tried this shake once, and I just hope she didn't notice the bananas, but if she did, oops. However, she did say it was amazing. I add a cup of frozen berries, chop up a banana, pour some full-fat yogurt in, and add a bit of water, dunk a scoop of protein powder, and maybe a tablespoon of flax seeds, cause who knows, I might just make it to 100 with its omega-3 content. Anyways, blend that up until it's nice, thick, and smooth. Pour it into the largest glass you have at home and just enjoy the freshness. Dinner is pretty similar to the first meal, it just tastes a bit better because I cooked it, feel bad. It still covers the basics, so veggies, protein, meat, and I find it way more efficient to cook for 2 and store 1 for the other day, so that way I'm only cooking 4 times weekly for dinner. Let me show you today's dinner and then we can check out some alternatives. So I'll chop a few sweet potatoes and let them cook for 20 minutes, then I add the chicken, put some garlic and oregano on top, voila, you have a masterpiece. If it's not chicken, then it's turkey or beef. If it's not sweet potatoes, then it's rice or quinoa or some vegetable mix. Other days I might even have my favorite whole wheat avocado pesto pasta with olive oil and feta cheese, which we'll talk about in another video. Point is, veggies, meat, carb. Period. That's it. Plain and simple. Weekends look a bit different because the faculty's kitchen doesn't work, so I tend to eat my breakfast at home. It's usually the black coffee with some avocado and eggs, so it's kind of keto, cleanish meal. I have also less calories because these days are less demanding, and so I just need to stay more mentally sharp and clear. But in terms of working out and this kind of stuff, it's not very demanding. Snacks are usually skipped, but I like to indulge in some pastry or take some sweets home and just watch some comedy, enjoy my day. Dinner is usually the basic foods that I eat every day, so no changes there. So over the years, I've tried a lot of different things, a lot of trial and errors right there, just to see myself going from the 100% clean eater to like back to fast food. And I've seen it's not a very sustainable way to live, to not treat yourself here and there. So I developed this new eating protocol called the 10 elements 90% nutritious, and it's 90% and not 100% with a reason. Because when you're trying to eat very, very clean all the time, anything like a social occasion might come up, or you just want to have a treat here and there, it just adds very unnecessary pressure thinking you just looped out of your diet, which is really not the case. It's mostly to me about eating these 80-90% of healthy and rich nutrient-dense foods, and if you want once in a while a treat, I'll just have it. It's at least what works for me, keeping my diet enjoyable, sustainable, and yet healthy. Basing your diet around healthy foods instead of just like a specific diet also makes it a lot easier to shop and a lot more convenient to cook and prepare meals in advance. So that's pretty much it. This is how I like to keep it enjoyable, sustainable, simple. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Check you in the next one. Bye.